Why interest rates do not matter when it comes to real estate. Let's unpack this because everyone is in a free fall on what the Fed is doing and what it's not doing and how it's choking out real estate once again, so to speak. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment and share. Appreciate the feedback. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm specifically talking about real estate. Every first time homeowner, every first time real estate investor tends to focus on interest rates. Who cares? They're not that important. Now, do you want to monitor what's going on with monetary policy and all that stuff? Fine. I waited a little bit to create this video just for the simple fact that everyone's in a free for all and like, oh, you should refinance now. You should do this now. You'll see all these content creators coming out. Not all of them, of course, but within reason telling you what you should do. It's a good time. Most of them have businesses to where they're involved in the industry some way or another. I do not. Um, why it does interest rates don't matter is because it's all about how you buy it. And I know. You're probably sick of hearing this a lot, but it's so true. It's how you buy real estate. This is why I constantly tell people when you make money on the buy in real estate. You don't buy it and then figure it out at the back end. That's just not how it works. It's already too late. I made these crucial mistakes. Never again will I make these mistakes. When I underwrite a deal now, moving forward, I look at the math at because you got to get it, you have to do the math, right? And I made videos on how to do the math. So I'm not going to touch on it too much in this video. If you guys want me to redo that, let me know. I'm happy to do that. But essentially, once you know your number one question, ARV, once you know the ARV, you offer in this economy 60% of that. Normal economy, you would say like 70% in a normal market, I should say. Right now, I wouldn't do more than 60. And then you factor in all your repair costs. Once you know all that repair costs, whatever that amounts, you take that, subtract the repair costs from the ARV, that's what you offer, right? I'm sorry. 60% of that cost, then minus your repair costs from that. Sorry if that was confusing. So your first question, what's the ARV? Second question is you not question rather, the second step, you just run it at 60%, right? Loan to ratio, that's what banks use. You just run it at 60%. Whatever that number tends to be, minus your repair costs from that number. That's how you do it. That's the magic. Not complicated, very simple. And anyone can follow it. So, you know, I hope that's helpful. And hopefully you guys can glean off of that. But interest rates don't matter. Just price and repair costs matter. Obviously, there's a lot of other moving parts in there that you want to know, but I'm assuming you already done the research, meaning you have your buy box. You know where you want to buy, what areas are good, what areas are upcoming. In this market, personally, I'm not looking at A plus areas, and I'm not looking at and quite frankly with you, I'd look at a lot of areas, but uh, you got to constantly look at them. But I'm not looking at those areas. I'm looking at the B and C kind of areas, just because, in my opinion, just a guy here on YouTube giving you a talking about real estate because that's what I love. I don't think people are going to be able to afford these higher end places. So it's important that when you are finding a place that you want to rehab or add value to, that you find something that is in a reasonable location, safe, right? Relatively safe. Not you're not want to be in a war zone. That is that you can rent out at affordable prices because I believe that's where the economy is headed. If we're not already there, I don't think this. You know, people are it's a tough time finding jobs. Jobs are paying a lot less than they were. Certain jobs, of course. I'm talking about the blue collar and well, actually, blue collar, you could probably still make some decent money, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Don't try to go for the high end six figure earners. I think those are starting to shrink and compress. I would stick to your everyday kind of worker because the last thing you want is a tenant that has to struggle to pay. And when I look at my rents, what I could rent a unit out for, I always, okay, what's the top of the market? And then I minus, not minus, but well, essentially minus, take off 10% of that. And that's what I rent the units out for. When I'm doing my underwriting, that's one of the factors I look at. Because if lower my rents by 10% and I'm still able to cash flow every month, I know it's a solid deal. And that gives me a buffer there to play with. God forbid, but if ever I needed to drop my rents 10%, I'm not hurting because I underwrote the property at that rate. So those are little nuances you got to watch for. Don't get caught up in what the Fed is doing because the Fed is all over the place. They've never been able to hit their goal. And I don't think they ever really intend to. So, and just to be clear, no one's going to fix this. So if you're on the sidelines waiting, I suggest you get in the game. Again, like I always say, it doesn't have to be real estate, but it needs to be something. You got to invest your way to freedom. You're not going to earn your way to freedom. A 9 to 5 isn't going to save you, not in this new world. And just follow the money. If you're like Bitcoin, good, you do Bitcoin. If you like stock markets or whatever's your thing, find your thing and go all in on it because I think that you're going to need to have another vehicle working for you. But I just want to come on make a quick video about these interest rates and what people, tell everyone to do not refinance right now unless it makes sense for you. I don't want to say that. If it makes sense for you, go ahead and do it. Just don't get pushed around on online and YouTube and stuff like that. I love YouTube. Obviously, I have a channel, but I do think there's a lot of dangerous information being put out on YouTube. So you just got to be careful and run it by some trusted people you trust. And something I'm going to be working on is going live more. I want to hit at least 500 subscribers is kind of what I settled on. If I hit 500, I'll start going live a lot bit more to answer you guys' questions. If you have questions as it pertains to real estate, particularly how to manage it, what you look for as a property manager, because that's what I do on my real job. And I'm happy to answer those questions and give you any insight that I can. I've been doing this quite a while, almost 20 years of managing real estate. So commercial and residential, multifamily. So I know a little bit. I'm not an expert, but I feel like I'm pretty good confident that I know what I'm talking about when it relates to property management and things and you should look for when you're owning real estate or looking to own real estate. But again, to sum this video up, because I didn't want to go too long here, you make your money on the buy, period. That's all there is to it. The math protects you. Okay. Don't get into the hype and the sauce like I did, right? And you get that fear of missing out. Settle down, take a deep cleansing breath, run your math. And again, this is not just for investors. This is also for your traditional homeowners. Take a deep breath, know your math, right? Because you don't want to be house poor. You want to have a house if that's your goal. And then move on. I don't mind having a house personally. I'm renting right now because I don't feel like a house is just not my focus right now. Owning a home, being quite honest with you. Uh, excuse me, battling allergies here. I do think in the long term it always works out for sure. And if you find a good deal and you're financially in a position to do it, fine, go for it. But I'm just not there yet. I have my focus on squaring up some other things, and I want to completely get myself out of debt before I tackle any more commitments. So that's just my 2 cents. Everyone, you have to do it wherever position you're in. Some people may not want to be investors. That's fine. But these principles still work. You need to buy it correctly, or else you will be in pain. Because you don't want to have to, if you're having to rely on interest rates to buy, you already lost. You already lost. So I don't care if interest rates go to 10%. Who cares? It's not going to affect me one way or the other. Does it mean that I'll get every house that I put an offer in on? No, of course not. But that's just not the house for you. Move on. And I just say that so flippantly because it's so true. There's a house in every corner, and all you need is one yes, and you'll get it. You may be at bat a few times, but more than a few times. You may be at 80 offers. There's zero risk in you putting in an offer. And part of my lives is to answer those questions on how you protect yourself when you're putting in an offer to where you get all your money back. So a down payment back, or earnest money rather. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.